You know the internet's core address book? The system that lets you find pretty much everything online? Well, what if that entire system is fundamentally unprepared for what's coming next? We're talking about a system built for billions of humans that's now about to face a future with trillions of intelligent AI agents. And one of the internet's original architects, he thinks it's time for a radical upgrade.
So, this whole story kicks off with an email sent to ICANN, the organization that basically runs the internet's domain name system. And it opens with this simple, incredible line from someone who was there right at the beginning, basically signaling, hey, I'm back.
Okay, so the big question is, who is Michael Kor, and why does his name suddenly reappearing in the world of internet governance carry so much weight? Well, his resume, it basically reads like a history book of how the internet was built.
I mean, just look at this. This isn't just some resume, it's a map of the internet's bedrock. He wasn't just using the early internet, he was in the trenches building it. He set up one of ICANN's core root servers at Bell Labs, deployed some of the first ever web servers, and even worked on the first firewalls. And to top it off, he's spent his recent years on the front lines of AI, managing teams at IBM building LLM chatbots. He's seen the past, and he's been building the future.
And this architect is back for a reason. He sees a huge, critical flaw in our current setup, a looming identity crisis for AI that he believes could actually threaten the stability of the entire web. So the first major problem he points to is something called sovereign risk. Right now, the default go-to domain for everything AI is, of course, .ai. But here's the thing. .ai isn't some generic tech domain. It's the official country code for Anguilla, a small island nation in the Caribbean. And to really get the scale of this risk, just look at the money. Anguilla is projected to make almost $50 million from .ai registrations next year alone. That's over 20% of its entire GDP. This creates this massive dependency, and it means a vital piece of global digital infrastructure is in the hands of one nation, basically by total chance. But that's just problem number one. There's another huge issue: linguistic exclusion. For the 1.3 times billion people who speak Spanish, Portuguese, French, or Italian, the natural acronym for artificial intelligence isn't AI, it's IA, for Inteligencia Artificial. The current standard basically walls off a huge part of the world from the conversation. So with those two big problems laid out, sovereign risk and linguistic exclusion, we can finally look at the proposed solution: a brand new vision for an internet that's actually ready for AI. And that proposal is a new top-level domain, .ia. It's designed from the ground up to be linguistically inclusive. It would be internationally governed, like the .eu domain, to get rid of that sovereign risk. And maybe most importantly, it's not just built for humans and companies, but for AI agents themselves. So you see, this is the crucial point. This isn't just about creating another domain name. It's got two core missions. One, to give over 1 billion people an intuitive digital home in the AI era. And two, to build the fundamental identity system for that coming wave of non-human AI agents. Now, let's get into the technicals a little bit, because this is where the idea gets really, really interesting and forward-thinking. At the very heart of this whole proposal is a concept they're calling the twin TLD mechanism. The best way to think about it is like a bridge that connects the internet we all use today, Web 2, with the decentralized Web 3 world of tomorrow. So here's how it would work. You go and register a .ia domain. Instantly, you get your normal website and email address just like any other domain. But at the exact same time, this system mints a permanent, verifiable digital identity on a blockchain, and that's the key. That's what will allow AI agents to securely prove who they are, talk to each other, and even conduct transactions all on their own. And this is where we really start to see the true scale of what's being proposed. This isn't just about another domain name. It's about building the phone book for an entirely new kind of economy. The core insight here is that the next wave of internet users, well, they won't be human. We are right on the verge of a world with trillions of autonomous AI agents, robots, and digital assistants, and every single one of them is going to need a verifiable identity. So if IA actually becomes the standard for this new non-human user base, the financial potential is just staggering. I mean, these projections show that in an aggressive scenario, we could be looking at $1 billion in revenue by 2028. To put that in perspective, by 2030, the projected revenue for .ia could be more than 4 times that of the legendary .com domain. This isn't about competing with .com for human eyeballs. It's about serving a fundamentally new and vastly larger market. But there's one enormous institutional hurdle standing in the way of this entire vision. A real showstopper. So here it is, the big obstacle. ICANN policy strictly, and I mean strictly, reserves all 2-letter domains for country codes, period. Getting an exception to this rule is pretty much the final boss battle in the world of internet governance.
But it's not totally impossible. The strategy is to combine 2 powerful historical precedents. First, you have the .eu model, which proved that a domain can be given to a supranational body, not just a single country. And second, there's the .cat model for the Catalan language community, which proved a domain can be created to serve a specific linguistic group. The argument is that .ia is both of these things at the same time. And this really leaves us with the final, provocative question that gets right to the heart of the internet's future. As AI completely reshapes our world, who should be in charge of building its foundational address book? A single nation that just happened to win the domain lottery? Or the global community building it together, on purpose, by design?